Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2. This game, LawLiet, going up against LabyRinth here on Last Refuge version 1.5. LawLiet spawning under the name as the Blue Night Elf Desert Fox, but this is LawLiet, going up against LabyRinth on the bottom left-hand side of Last Refuge. A favorite map at the moment out of the 15 in the rotation, or too hard of a question? See, like, before, before the map rotation was just kind of stale, right? Like, and because of the disparity between the maps, right? There were some good maps and there were some bad maps. You could actually choose a favorite, right? The situations where you would get those long, drawn-out, boring games on Echo Isle because there's only one expo and there's no points of interest, and that you'd have a 45-minute camping game. Sometimes like those led to some really boring and sad matches. First thing I want to note though is LawLiet going for a Tavern Hero, Altar of Elders finally getting placed down. There's that Ancient of War off over here, so it could be the new meta, LawLiet going for the Fire Lord. Now what we're seeing is no, that's a little bit too far. The map community has really gotten together with the professional community, learned how the games learn what makes good game, right? Points of interest, points of interaction, right? Not extremely long walking distances, things like that, to bring about action games and things to do, right? And I think because of that, like, all of the games have just been played so well. Agreed, it's much better now than it was 3 to 5 years ago. Oh yeah, definitely. 3 to 5 years ago, we started to see more and more good maps show up. And because there was more and more good maps that showed up, the consistently bad maps were always, thumbs down. And instead of having, say, a 15 map pool, it just felt like a 9 map pool, because the same 6 maps were always missing, right? Now that we truly have a 15 map pool and people are interested in specific choices, this game, WarCraft 3, has just been much better for it. I've never realized how important the maps could change the overall feel and experience of WarCraft 3. Coming back across here, Ancient of War absorbing quite a bit of damage. Lava spawns did get ensnared here. Gonna try and clear up this rock golem creep camp at the mercenary camp, as the Ancient of War still taking an absolute beating. Lava spawn still getting in some split, as the Fire Lord does pick up a Robe of Magi. Even though it is an agility-based hero, it does often need a lot of mana, and this Robe of Magi might be exactly what the Doctor ordered, used in conjunction with these Moonwells. You know, drop the Robe of Magi and pick it back up after you drink from those Moonwells for more effective mana. Hey, long time. Different tile sets are nice too. Yeah, not looking at the same thing over and over. And before, I didn't really like the city tile set. Right, the city tile set wasn't very interesting, and but I realized it's not that I don't like the city tile set. It's that the city tile set is often busy, and if the tile set or the map is too busy, it actually detracts from the game overall. Wow, LawLiet with a very fast Fire Lord at level 3, now making its way down across the map here. Meanwhile, Death Knight gonna go ahead and clear out this mercenary camp with a quick scan on the crystal ball to scout out this expo. This is a very big deal. There it is again, the crystal ball, as lava spawns are gonna try and engage. All right, here we go after all of these units. We're gonna see a little bit of damage. There goes one there, and wow, the death coil finishing off that lava spawn. Remember, lava spawns actually have less hit points than water elementals, but they have that ability to split, and that is the reason why they are so powerful. However, if you're able to catch them before they split, they cost 25 more mana than water elementals, and add in the fact that the Fire Lord is is an agility hero, doesn't really regenerate mana nearly as well as, say, the Farseer or the Archmage with Brilliance Aura. All right, we're going to see that drop the Robe of Magi, drink from those Moonwells, pick it back up, and even then the Fire Lord doesn't have enough mana to summon up a new Lava Spawn. Tree of Life going to make its march over here to the, well, top left-hand side of the map here, try and set up an Expo. Undead, on the other hand, LabyRinth, the first one to do so, already with 3 out of 5 Acolytes, training up the last 2, and now teching to tier 2 as well. All right, Death Knight returning the favor, saying, you know what, I'm going to reveal, find you, and try and stop your Expo. This one Lava Spawn, is it going to get abolished magic death coiled like his, well, partner, brother there, as the Forest Troll Berserker still simply walking around in circles. An unlucky ensnare as Wisps now making their way over. Lava Spawn is going to go ahead and easily split as we're looking at some easy pickups once more. All right, dual Lava Spawns. Oh, there's Abolish Magic. That's going to get cleaned up there as the Death Knight chasing after this Fire Lord. All right, little bit of damage. Are we going to see this ghoul get taken down? No boots of speed. We're down to 44 hit points. 2 more shots probably necessary, waiting for those attacks. There's 1 more shot necessary, and that will pick it off if he gets that hit. I believe he got the hit. Yes, he got the hit. That's why you lost sight up on the high ground. Ancient of War. Taking quite a beating against all these units, and we're going to look at what is this, another ghoul going to get taken down, another shot, there he goes as well. Ancient of War is lost. Panda can come back around, perhaps get a Breath of Fire off, as there's that Breath of Fire there. Animation did not fully load, not quite sure what happened here. Fire Lord now trying to back away, head back off to the north. Meanwhile, Panda, I believe, yes, finished off one of those ghouls or trolls. Not sure which, or not quite remembering which unit it was. Finally have time to watch Crota's cast again, thanks to COVID. All right, well, COVID bringing the world together in 2024. All right, Brewmaster picking up that Robe of Magi. Fire Lord, perhaps going to be transitioning into the Inferno ability as the Panda going to get in some Breaths of Fire here. Goblin Shredder also joining in on that battle. You can see that 34 to 61 damage, dealing so much damage against that medium armor, and how quickly effective it was. Quick reveal right there. I believe that is coming in from the Death Knight, and here we are. Death Knight able to come across, steal that last bit of experience. Brewmaster still sitting at level 1 as the Fire Lord gets in a little bit of trailing damage again. All right. A lot of crystal ball usage going back and forth here. Goblin Zeppelin, nothing in the cargo bay as of yet, and not exactly sure what LawLiet's trying to do. 39 supply compared to 44. Both players just trying to get gold out of that gold mine to perhaps build up a stronger economy and move on into the mid game. Tier 3 tech by LabyRinth. Meanwhile, we are already attacking the tier 3 as well. A quick snipe. Death Knight with the Death Coil. They're able to snipe down a Forest Troll Berserker, which represents a large amount of damage. In last game, why both players don't get Shredder. Well, that's the last game, but one of the reasons why I think Romantic didn't get it is he actually wanted the peasants. He wanted to be able to call to arms. He wanted to get militia, and then he also wanted to be able to rotate the units back over to the gold mine when it was necessary, right? There was a lot of harassment going on. A lot of peasants were getting taken out, and by having a surplus of peasants, he was able to, train up more peasants while really not falling behind on lumber and gold, helping his overall production. But that's for a different game. Focusing back on here, 55 supply going up against 45. LabyRinth, remember, having this expo a little bit longer, able to get a stronger economy going. All right, environmentalists. All right, yeah, maybe. All right. Meanwhile, Brewmaster still sitting here at level 2, maybe shy of level 3. The Firelord could jump inside the Goblin Zeppelin here and try and feed a little bit more experience to that Brewmaster, as the Brewmaster would definitely benefit, or the Night Elf army would definitely benefit with that level 3 Breath of Fire. So many lava spawns here, and now what is this? The Druid of the Claw, no room in, well, gonna find room here as we are looking at lava spawns going over here into the bottom right. All of these lava spawns actually putting in pressure and actually acting as a scout. As what is this here? Why isn't this Goblin Zeppelin unloading? There we are. Here we go. Finally unloading everything. I think the ensnare made it so that the Goblin Zeppelin didn't actually reach that unload point at all. Meanwhile, this Gargantuan Sea Turtle is going to end up getting taken down. We do have a Panda here who's going to get the experience. Firelord doesn't get it. Death Knight. It looks like the Death Knight got it. I didn't see the animation, however, for that level up. All right, quick dizziness for everything that was inside that Goblin Zeppelin there. I believe a couple of Dryads. Yeah, dizziness, one of those debuffs that we don't see every game. Level 3 Brewmaster, level 4 Firelord. Firelord does have that auto attack buff here. Meanwhile, well, LawLiet's Expo is not very much defended at all. We could see the ghouls perhaps try and swarm in, or the gargoyles, well, flocking on over, and this is going to be a problem. Being late even by 2 seconds, it may be too much here, as the Panda wants to get a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire off across all of those units. We could see gargoyle form as the Dryads are still moving back here. There's some repairs going down. 69 supply compared to 52. Undead completely just overwhelming and swarming the opponent here, as the Panda does have an Orb of Venom, able to attack and deal a little bit of damage across all these other units there. Gargoyles should be, well, slowly getting taken down, but a Death Coil finding a near-dead gargoyle. Very rarely do you see the full 400 hit point heal of a level 2 Death Coil effective against a gargoyle. Both sides fighting their way through here. 44 supply compared to 67, and LabyRinth is just winning with sheer macro production. Brewmaster gets Staff of Preservation back home. Firelord trying to win this fight outright with auto attacks against all of those gargoyles there, as the, well, Death Knight picks up, doesn't pick up that Tome of Strength. Okay, finally goes back, picks up that Tome of Strength, and says thank you for the hit points. All right, Brewmaster sent back home. Full on mana, also has that Medallion of Courage. That's plus 11 intelligence on that Brewmaster. 465 mana. Breath of Fire, well, the cooldown on the Breath of Fire may be the limiting factor on being able to blow out all of these gargoyles. Firelord also making the trek on over. Slow poison from the Dryads, and making it difficult for the Death Knight to retreat, as the Death Knight is already nearing level 6. Are we going to see some death or some problems onto all of these other units here? There's a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Dryads trying to retreat back. One Dryad getting taken down. The Death Quell saving that Lich again, as both sides are just losing units. All right, however, the Gargoyles, as they are getting splashed down by that Incinerate ability, it is taking down multiple Gargoyles, and suddenly the entire Gargoyle army has disappeared from the skies. All of the Gargoyles, that mass production of Gargoyles, as every time you incinerate, it causes a little bit of AoE damage. They explode, and, well, affects all of the air units, and then it just happened to overlap again and again and again. It was like the beginning of dominoes just spreading all over, causing the eventual loss there, as we are looking at a Destroyer trying to get away from these Dryads. Lich gonna offer a little bit of help here. Firelord full on mana, doesn't want to summon up any fire spawns, as they're just gonna get devoured easily. Meanwhile, this Destroyer off over here gonna go ahead, head over to the high ground above the tree line in order to get away from all of these Dryads. All right. Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camp off to the top left here. Panda could get to level 4. Fire Lord purposely, well, he wants to back away, but also wants to make sure that he doesn't get caught out in the middle of the battlefield against an entire undead army while his army is creeping here. Gargantuan Sea Turtle going after some units again. Panda will get to level 4. It's got to get there. Yep, gets to level 4 easily and is going to pick up a Claws of Attack +8. That might be handed off to the Fire Lord, who will then be doing some crazy range damage. In addition to... Are we going to see a transfer? Yes, we are. All right, transfer. So plus 18 damage before the Incinerate damage bonus. That Fire Lord pretty much dealing near critical strikes every single time. All right, see that explosion? Yeah, a little bit of explosion overlapping to all of the other units nearby. And, well, in a large fight, that damage does stack up more and more. Death Knight is at level 6, Lich is at level 5, and this is all at the 16-minute mark of this game. Both sides have, well, we've seen both sides just try and build up a large army. There's a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire and an Incinerate there. So that Drunken Haze Breath of Fire really taking down all of those gargoyles. Panda needs to get another Drunken Haze Breath of Fire off. Meanwhile, Firelord could be in trouble, down to 143 hit points. Potion of Healing, gonna try and perhaps keep all of these units alive here. Are we gonna see another Breath of Fire? No, we are not. We are gonna see an Animate Dead. All right, LabyRinth now with Animate Dead, able to fight back here as we're looking at still more gargoyles trying to go after the Tree of Life. This Animate Dead army, a much larger ground army than would normally be expected, as the Panda trying to perhaps back away. There's a Death Coil and a Staff of Preservation save. Brewmaster, not enough time to drop the Medallion of Courage, Robe of Magi, or a Gauntlet of Ogre Strength +3. Quickly drinks back from all of those Moonwells and now trying to push through. Meanwhile, the Animate Dead Dryads still making a big impact on this game. Are we going to see a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire? And there's some more explosions again. All right, Stone Form. Gargoyles, well, getting picked off even in Stone Form. Massive regeneration. Not enough to keep these units alive as the Fire Lord down to 43 hit points. He gets Staff of Preservation back home. We could be looking at a Breath of Fire. Come on, Breath of Fire against this Stone Form Gargoyle. No, does not do so as we see another Staff of Preservation again. All right, if I saw that Staff of Breath of Fire finish off that gargoyle and then saw the Brewmaster get stabbed back home by the Fire Lord, that would have been icing on a cake and given, well, at least LawLiet a bit of something to look forward to. All right, there's that triple drop-off, dropping off all of those items to have less stats and then picking them all back up eventually to have a little bit more of everything. All right. Brewmaster down to 630 hit points. Firelord now making its way down here. We're looking at a third base by LabyRinth here on Last Refuge. This is this high ground, what I call the Last Refuge Expo, that well, a lot of players try to hold out on. Both sides fighting their way through. Destroyers able to easily devour magic that Lava Spawn, finish it off. Both sides fighting again. Dryads getting picked off here. Gargoyles getting cleaned up, and the Destroyers not having to worry about Breath of Fire, but having to worry about the magic immune Dryads. All right, meanwhile, Lich can be in a little bit of trouble. We're looking at another, well, Dark, I think that was a Staff of Preservation save there. Lich gets up to level 6. Death Knight was trying to finish off some other units, and the Death Knights are cleaning up all of these Dryads as everything else pretty much, well, had magic damage, save for the newly arrived Gargoyles. All right, so new abilities abound. Are we getting up a Druid of the Claw? We are. Druid of the Claw with Adept training, absolutely necessary. Firelord on the cusp of level 6. And is LawLiet going to make an amazing comeback? Undead expanding all the way everywhere on the map here, taking both high ground Last Refuge expos, while, well, LawLiet is just sitting on one base. Lava Spawn here, scouting out all of this action, and I gotta believe this is it. And I feel like someone is just gonna complain about undead winning again, but undead took an early expo, was able to grab additional expos behind this while putting in pressure on LawLiet's base that was not defended enough. Absolute strong reason for LabyRinth to take this game. I just believe LawLiet doesn't realize how far behind. Oh, he's got to realize how far behind he is. He knows he needs to dive on in here, finish off these acolytes, and then scroll of Town Portal back. Firelord does get up to level 6. We do see Volcano as the ability. Haunted Goldmine needs to get cleaned up. There's a Staff of Preservation bringing back the Panda Bear as the Drunken Haze Breath of Fire going down. Meanwhile, we are looking at Death and Decay on the main buildings here. Repairs are necessary as Death and Decay, only one Death and Decay is needed to take down the 2,000 hit point Tree of Eternity, since it is a percentage-based damage. Alright, Tree of Eternity was repaired during all this time, as we see a Volcano now spouting up, trying to stun down all of these units. Death Knight able to get away from all of the action here, as we see a Staff of Preservation again. Panda coming back over to the Tree of Eternity to try and protect. There was a Breath of Fire blowing over more and more of these units. Tree of Eternity down to 72 hit points. Is it going to be enough? The Panda trying to finish off all of these units. No more Breath of Fire, not enough mana, and that is going to be the game with the Tree of Eternity gone. There is not much left to do for LawLiet. Alright, only thing we were missing in that game to make it truly more memorable was an Earth, Storm, and Fire. We saw Animate Dead, Death and Decay, and Volcano in the same game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Absolute fun game to cast and well, just watch and review with you. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.